Okay, hey guys, we're gonna do the installment of Deathbed Deathbed Alien Confession or Deathbed Alien Deception, and we're gonna play a bit of the video of the Deathbed Alien Deception, as I'll call it, and we're gonna factually and philosophically decode this whole alien existence thing. The existence of aliens. Do they exist? And if they existed, would that substantiate for all reality? Or would that be more like that would be more would that be more logical on the biblical narrative of aliens? The biblical narrative of aliens is that they are demonic spirits. They are you know reptilian demons. They are Nephilim. They are demons. That's the biblical narrative, and they are lesser beings with given the power to deceive and to counterfeit and to um, amaze and allure mankind. So we're gonna go on the historical, the etymology, and basic and some other truths, and we're gonna discover that aliens, if they existed on your narrative, you would still have a philosophical issue to deal with. And just like the atheist, you can't deal with it. You're stuck. And it repeats itself. So let's actually get this done. Give me a second. Oh, I gotta find the video. Give me a second.
Bring out the contrast in the photo.
Okay, I got the video. We're gonna respond to this. This and other videos are convincing videos that get the truth seekers to be convinced of aliens. You know, because they hide the aliens. They hide this stuff. No, they actually, unlike they actually we see them pushing. I'll respond to it. They don't. They may hide. They may. Wait. I'll respond to it in a bit. I am going to respond to it, but not yet. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to respond to it.
I ended up with something that I still can't explain to this day. This is the original photo, and these lights were showing up just over the top of the mountain. I took a second photo probably 5 or 6 seconds later, as long as it would have taken for me to reset the timer. And in fact, this group of lights was in a much more narrow band, and now about, well, I don't know, I can't really say distance-wise, but they moved quite a ways from where that original grouping had taken place. So I still have no explanation for the camera, or for the pictures. These images, these lights have not shown up in any other photos that I've taken. I'm at a loss as to what they might be, and certainly curious as to where those lights came from. And they certainly are very, very similar images.
Let me go through on the ships. In order for me to believe it, I have to get blow-ups. And so here are 2 of them, which is blown up much higher. And I think I have one. Yeah, you can see the 45-degree candidate UFO. Now see, the only reason that I bought everything that he said is because my people have been feeding me for 13 years pictures. Not only pictures of just plain pictures, but I gave them assignments, being a senior scientist, and they got a picture up close and personal. This is a UFO which is ready to take off, and it is very up close. And they inform me that there are 3 elements which the UFO is contained. One is telluride, the other is uranium, the other is palladium. I did not say a metal once. And not only that, but the things pick up and fly using anti-gravity. That's one picture. Here's another picture. In this case, the UFO is not turned on, ready to fly. Therefore, it only shows on the upper part of it. Generally, it's white on the underside when power is applied. Here's also another of the same order. Now, these UFOs are 38 feet in diameter, and it was rather surprising to me, since I actually physically gave them my camera. They took this picture as a UFO was departing. Within one flick of my camera, they got 3 UFOs. That's real. And yeah, we don't know why either. And also, when UFOs come in, they like we have a heads-up display for our pilots. They do too. This is what their pilots see in order to tell them how to come to Area 51 and land. And not only that, they can go to a vertical hole in a mountain over 51 and go down a shaft. They don't have wheels. They don't have anything like that. They take off by going up straight, and then not only that, but they travel extremely rapidly. Their home planet is Quintonia, which is 68 light years from us. They, to my surprise, when I asked them how fast they take to get from that should be 68,000 years to make it according to Einstein. But they're able to make it to us in 45 years. So I gave them an assignment to photograph the planets from space as they were coming back. And they did that. And you see Jupiter and Saturn and Mars and Earth as it's seen by UFOs. And here's another. Now, we aren't going through motherships or anything like that. Nevertheless, those are when they actually get powered up and actually start traveling, it turns like this. You do not hear sound. They're up. They travel like that. They look like that, and they travel extremely rapidly. Now, the question is who are they? Here's another one. You can see the bottom, how it's all white. It's turned on. Here's also bottom turned on. Strangely enough, I asked them to take pictures of the power unit on the bottom, up close and personal. They gave me this. I don't know what this means. That's when my camera actually looks into the power center of the UFO. Now, I asked them to tell me about who was flying these things. He's airport said fine. They're approximately 5 feet, 4.5 to 5 feet tall. They had one or two of them around that were 230 years old, and we have a total of at least 18 that exist and operate with our facility as Teller set it up. Now notice the eyes are different, nose are different, but they do have 5 fingers, 5 toes, 2 eyes, and rather strangely enough, I asked him how they communicate. He says, well, it's like this, boy. You all of a sudden have a question in your mind. You walk into a room with one of them, and all of a sudden you find yourself giving the answer to your question in your own voice. They're able to use your own voice by telepathy to talk to you. And I said, fine. Now that's how they look in front. But when you turn around and look at the back, it's like that. Now notice that they have 3 backbones. They're actually cartilage. Nevertheless, it's a much more efficient system than ours. They also have 3 ribs in their system rather than more. This is also the back side of an alien. Here's a 45-degree look. And here's the back of the head. Notice the veins. No hair. And now when we talk about aliens, I pushed the issue, and he said, well, there's kind of 2 groups of aliens. He divided them, they divide them into 2 groups. One group he calls, it's like you have a ranch. And you have a ranch and you find that one group are your wranglers that know how to wrangle your cattle. There are others are rustlers, ones that steal your cattle. And indeed, that the 2 groups do act differently. To the ones that are regulars are much more friendly and have a better relationship with us. Here's the other side, Alien 2. Now also notice that their feet, where they have 5 toes, the toes are joined together like a frog, and yet they are dissimilar. Now there was a surprising occurrence, and that is my friend had one of them that was a friend, and he died here. And 10 days after his death, I was out visiting my buddy who's in this picture. And if you look very close, you can see that his friend is in spirit form, and right over his left shoulder. You can also see that the fingers are long, that there is something. We have an expression that basically say when a person dies, they stay around their body for 3 days and then go off, and they basically have the same thing that happens to them. Now, with respect to the alien craft, we have American citizens which are suited up like this, and they are working on UFOs 24 hours a day, and we're trying to learn what to do. These are 2 guys, 2 American citizens, and they're trying to protect themselves against the germs and things like that. And here's another view of them. And here's another one. And there's an upper part of a UFO and a lower part of a UFO. This is the upper part, and it's one of them up there. They have, generally we give them suspenders so that if they start floating, they don't have gravity on the inside. So they can grab them and pull them over to the side. And this is the home planet that they come from, which they call Quintonia. Now notice that the hand, that's an alien hand. Notice that that the fingers are longer than ours, by quite a bit, about 30% longer, and that's just the way they're put together. Now, at any rate, this process that introduced me directly or indirectly to Dr. Tiller's work with the group that still is in charge of Area 51 and equivalent. Turned out to be a doctor, very, very fine gentleman. And I was carrying on a conversation with him. He saw how the subject was going. So he simply said, well, you need to know what I did one day. And I said, okay. He said, I was in the process of doctoring a pilot who was a test pilot, a Navy test pilot for the United States government. And it was 1947. Said he began, I don't know if it's a drug I had on or what was occurring, but he basically told me that the radar group, had found a blip out over New Mexico, and that they would like to assign me to go out and check it out. So he said, fine, I'll do that. And he got the fastest airplane that existed then, which was propeller at the time, and was fully armed and all the rest of those things. Nevertheless, he was out flying, and he found the item, and he immediately communicated back, and he said, I wish authority, first of all, I want you to tell me, are there any other airplanes flying? Are there commercial or anything else around other than he and I? Said, just the two of you. And he said, fine. The second thing I want to know is, do I have authority to shoot it down? He said, why do you want authority to shoot it down? He says, because I am flying the fastest thing that the United States can make, and he's beginning to leave me. Therefore, I know he's either a friend or an enemy, and if he's leaving me, he's an enemy. Therefore, I wish authority to shoot it down. The commander said, fine. He granted him authority. He pulled in. He shot him down. He came down. He flew past and saw that there was a road on the one side of a fence area. He came down and landed his airplane. Hard to do, but he did. And then one of them, the door was open. One of them was out walking around. But he didn't care about that. He cared about what the vehicle was. So he went over, and rather strangely enough, when he ducked down, because they're only 5 feet high, he saw that he could see through the walls. Not only that, but as he stepped in, the floor was spongy. He looked at the three that were there, and they were dead. He knew they were. He'd killed them. But he also knew that the military would come, and he had put up with those guys for a long time. So he went back across the barbed wire fence, got in his airplane, and took off. Therefore, he was never briefed out at all. And he didn't give my friend authority to allow me to know what his name was. I know, but I won't reveal. Both of them should have been gone for a long time. Nevertheless, so when I got up with my contacts in Area 51, I brought up that story, and they said, well, that's totally true, but we can't say it, you can. And that's how they kept me all this time, is I can talk about it, but they can't. I do, because of some very good reasons, keep things within control, but I don't want us to fall behind the Russians and Chinese. And the problem I have is that Area 51 is working with both the Russians and Chinese right now. And trying to make UFOs, they have, there's been a total of 39 United States citizens that have lost their lives trying to reverse engineer UFOs. And the last one I heard of was a year and a half ago, where we lost 19 lives in one test. They actually wanted to bring various flying craft near the UFO, and the UFO defended itself, and 19 of our people died. Now, they kept giving me things rather than they would give me pieces of UFOs, and I would come to my laboratories. I had the laboratories of Lockheed and every place else. So I would do that, but I would get pieces of UFOs. For example, I have 3 little pieces of UFOs down underneath the thing that looks like a quartz crystal. Notice that that is my hand, and it is giving weight. It says that it weighs 100 grams. Now, without those 3 items, when I take the UFO material away, notice that the 3 UFO items are gone. But also notice that the weight of the crystal is now 650 grams. The implication here is that if I were to take the pieces of UFO and put them underneath an average man's scale, he would weigh 45 pounds. Basically, they're working in anti-gravity, and therefore our effort is anti-gravity. And not only that, but we take these same pieces of items, and I go to a standard voltmeter, and notice that in my voltmeter, I am getting a total voltage of 249 volts out of one piece of UFO. Not only that, but the team took a piece of UFO and connected it up like this and was able to have a complete laboratory operate for 6 months with heavy equipment. And it goes all the way up to 12 amperes. And since you didn't really get this before, here's the foot with the toes joined together. And this is a better view of the same. Now notice also, this is the body of an alien, and where we have 6 ribs that are connected together, they have 3. And the total height is less than 5 feet. And they still look like this. Not like you and I. Nevertheless, so we're able to obtain voltages and anti-gravity. And anti-gravity appears several ways, which is rather unique enough. Scotty talked about UFOs. I basically said, yeah, I understand, because here is what Area 51 was giving to me since the year 2000 and beyond. Notice it's recent. And we have 1 triangle, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have one that's 150 feet across, if not larger. And each one of these are separate documentation of UFOs that were photographed and taken across the world from the year 2004. Now, when you actually get what that all means, is that UFO, when it's white on the enemy side, is ready to fly like that. And it's anti-gravity, that's the reason you don't hear anything. But when it's just parked means just floating in air. It could be above your house. Like this, and this. This turns out to be the heads-up display that the aliens see of how to go to Area 51 and store their craft. Nevertheless, this is what the craft looked like. That's how they change power. And notice that here's an egg-like thing, but it's standing on end only because it has no gravity itself. And that is a piece of UFO germanium. And this little dot is a piece of neodymium magnet, which is above the germanium, and it's floating all by itself. And that, again, is a UFO. And we don't know why, but the crystal appears to be colored rose, and we can't figure out why yet. There's a whole bunch of analysis that we're having to do. Side view, front view, top view, line. That's the power center of palladium in the middle of the craft.
So now I'm going to reply to this whole alien thing. Okay, so you guys, if you guys know about the Illuminati, you know about the CIA and all this garbage. If you do research, there's been spotted governmental UFOs. So the government actually makes UFOs, and actually the National Geographic would attack the biblical narrative while supporting Jesus of Jesus, because it's fine to just believe in Jesus, but to attack the biblical narrative of him, of course. But National Geographic and the atheist like Richard Dawkins, he said he believes in like an alien being, like an extraterrestrial. He doesn't believe in a god, he believes in an alien being. Well, he might prefer to believe in one. So the atheist community and the National Geographic, the mainstream, the scientific, the mainstream media, in the sense of National Geographic, the atheists, are actually promoting the existence of aliens in the New Age, but they actually attack Christianity. Wonder why that Christianity is the most unfactually, illogically attacked than anything else. We can join with the aliens and the New Age and the Islam and Catholicism and all this garbage, which is pagan and all that. We can't join with Christianity because Christianity defends our conscience. Because Christianity is actually truth. An evidence for Christianity is, I'll go into more of the aliens thing, but the evidence for Christianity is that, aside the philosophical stuff, is because, I don't know why am I having trouble? The world can join with anything, but it attacks Christianity. It has some. If Christianity wasn't in existence, you wouldn't have to attack about that, would you? They can join with anything else, but they attack Christianity. The elite are Satanists, and they are anti-Christianity. They're it's the more genuine you can get it. About repentance, turning from sin, all that. is the more attack. Because the Bible narrative says that the world hates the light. That men hate God. There seems to be an agenda to discredit or to hide or to present every single other thing but this one thing. Because there's an agenda to make yourself your own God for your own opinions, your own ideologies, and to get away from divine authority, to get away from the true God. But let me go further in the alien thing. Well, the existence, the origin, etymology of aliens goes back to their call, goes back to Aleister Crowley, and him reading a book by this alien, this demon, named Ewas. And of course, he was involved in molesting little boys because he thought that, you can either live forever or gain more life or become like a god of your own universe for a little boys behind. That's what he believed. He did more crazy stuff than that. Even people know about Aleister Crowley if you're not stupid. I mean, if you even people in the secular world can find out Aleister Crowley, he did these things. He was called the beast, the wickedest man in the 1900s. So the existence of aliens go back to paganism and to the occult. It goes back to some demonic origin. Is that a coincidence? I would say no. So we think the mainstream secular world. I'm sorry, I'm not going to call you Stephen. I'm going to call you even people in the secular world know about Aleister Crowley. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to call you a name. But the etymology of them is in paganism and pre-existing philosophies, and they more seem like to have a more of a dark origin, more of what we call being demonic beings, being spiritual beings rebelling against God, because they're just beings seeking to steal worship from God, seeking to see. The thing is that man is willing to worship anything that would. Man does have this spiritual inclination, this spiritual interest in things of the supernatural. Man is willing to worship anything that would give it, to satisfy its lust, to satisfy its hunger for something else, but not divine authority, not repentance of the sin. So, and in the perfect fit, they seem cool, and also you can be your own God for the New Age of the teachings. So the New Age is perfectly acceptable to those that want to have their cake and eat it too. But let me go further in the response as well. Also, aliens are more so mysterious, untotally revealed beings, the deistic beings. They haven't remained totally personally certain. I mean, we see there's more than one kind of alien. There's a nice kind of alien. We don't know whether they actually are deceiving us or have to go to absolute basis of absolute truth. We don't know if this is about a Matrix, and they're actually outside the Matrix, and they appear sometimes in places like Area 51. This is everything we know to be true is all a deception. And the question is, who created the aliens? Because they can certainly die. They're not eternal. So a God, a divine being that would create all things and be a philosophical, logical answer to substantiate all things, morality, truth, absolute knowledge. The creator, there has to be something higher than the aliens. So it'd be more of a logical statement to say these aliens are demonic beings, and the higher being is the Most High God, the Old and New Testament, whether you want to believe it or not. So what else I want to say? I'm having trouble kind of replying. But I might just put. I am gonna take this and put it on my other channel, and then take this and put my response to it. Maybe not if I sufficiently replied to it. But guys, I replied. It's about just I am gonna do a part 2 on another part where I actually do a video on New Age philosophies and the New Age and debunking the New Age movement, and where this whole alien thing and the root etymology and the reputation is brought back up, and where I will go further than I went today. But let this just be a brief reply to the to a New Age belief, which is an occult belief, which is a belief in aliens. And I will. I didn't do it better. I think I did a better reply. I'm having trouble. Did a better reply. Go to the deathbed deception confession video. Go to 32 minutes and go watch my response. And keep watching the channel. And any New Ager watching, if you want to have a philosophical discussion, a historical discussion, a discussion on truth, we can. But this response to New Age into the aliens is not over. But this is just a brief response. So I love you guys. Be blessed. In Jesus' name, bye.